12 life hacks that can help you survive. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be going over 12 life hacks that can help you survive. These are things that I wish I knew earlier in my life, especially some of the first ones. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. The first life hack is how to properly wash your clothes. So when it's gonna be particularly interesting for the younger folks who don't know how to do their own laundry yet. This is something that I struggled with when I was younger, but after some time, I got the hang of it. The first thing you want to do is sort out your clothes by color. You don't want to put your whites in with your colors or your colors in with your darks because they can bleed onto each other. For example, if you put a white t-shirt in with a dark-colored shirt, the dark-colored shirt can bleed onto the white t-shirt, making it look dirty, even though it was clean before. You'll also want to check the tags on your clothes, because not all of them can go in the washing machine. For example, if it says to be dry cleaned only, then you have to take it to the dry cleaners. If it has a tag saying that it can go in the washing machine, you can put it in the washing machine. But if it doesn't have that tag, then it's best to hand wash it. When it comes to putting your clothes in the washing machine, you do and want to overstuff it because then the clothes and get washed properly, and it also put extra strain on the washing machine. And finally, when it comes to detergent, you do want to put too much because then it and get washed properly, and it also wastes detergent. A good rule of thumb is that if it's a small load, use half the amount of detergent. And if it's a big load, use the full amount of detergent. The next life hack is how to change a tire. This is another one that I wish I learned at a younger age, because there were several times where I was driving around with my friends and we got a flat tire and I didn't know what to do. Thankfully, my friends knew how to change a tire, so we never had any problems. But this is something that everyone should know how to do, especially if you drive. First off, you want to park on a flat surface away from traffic. Then you're going to want to turn on your hazard lights and put the car in park. Then you've want to take the spare tire out of the trunk and put it under the flat tire, and you're going to want to loosen the lug nuts, but don't take them off completely. Next you want to use the car jack and raise the car until the flat tire is off the ground. And I'm not. Then you're going to want to take off the lug nuts and take off the flat tire. Then you want to put on the spare tire and put the lug nuts back on. Then lower the car back down to the ground and tighten up the lug nuts. And lastly, you want to put the flat tire back in the trunk and get rid of the car jack. Life hack no. 3 is how to cook rice. Cooking rice is very simple, but many people still don't know how to do it. I remember when I was in college, I had a really hard time trying to learn how to cook rice because every time I did it, it would either be undercooked or overcooked. But after a lot of trial and error, I finally got the hang of it. So to make rice, you're going to want to grab a pot and add 1 cup of rice for every 2 cups of water. For example, if you want to make 2 cups of rice, you're going to add 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water. After adding the rice and water, you're going to want to bring it to a boil. Once it starts boiling, you're going to want to cover it and reduce the heat to low. Then you're just going to want to let it cook for about 18 minutes. Then once it's done, you're going to want to fluff it up with a fork and serve it up. The fourth life hack is how to speed run a load of laundry. I already talked about how to do your own laundry, but now I'm going to tell you how to do it faster. The way I do it is that I'll do the first 3 steps that I talked about earlier, but then for the washing part, I like to do a quick wash instead of a normal wash. Also, if you have a top loader, you should wash your clothes normally. But if you have a front loader, then you should wash your clothes backwards because the drum is the front. The dryer, I like to just put everything on high heat because most of my clothes can handle it. And I also like to use the timed dry feature instead of the automatic dry feature because then I can save a lot of time. I also like to fold my clothes as soon as they come out of the dryer because then they're less likely to wrinkle, and I'm also more likely to put them away. Life hack number 5 is how to deal with a hangover. Everyone deals with hangovers differently, but these are a few things that have helped me deal with them. First off, you want to drink a lot of water because alcohol dehydrates you, so drinking a lot of water will help rehydrate you. Another thing you can do is drink some coffee because caffeine can help get rid of that drowsy feeling that comes along with a hangover. Also, eating something can help because when you drink alcohol, you're also consuming calories. And lastly, you can take a shower because the hot water can help relax you and the cold water can help you wake up. Life hack number 6 is how to quickly make an appointment. I used to always wait till the last minute to schedule appointments, which would often result in me not being able to get the appointment I wanted. But ever since I learned this life hack, it's made scheduling appointments so much easier. All you have to do is go to the website or call the business and say something like, "Hi, I'd like to schedule an appointment for tomorrow, preferably in the morning. What times are available?" And then they'll tell you what times are available, and then you can choose one. Life hack number 7 is how to find your passion. I remember when I was in middle school and high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. It was until I got to college that I started figuring out what I liked and what I didn't like. But if you're someone who's still trying to figure out their passion, here's a few things that can help. First off, you want to take some time to reflect on what you enjoyed doing as a child. Chances are that you still enjoy doing those things now, you just don't realize it. Another thing you can do is take some personality and career aptitude tests. There are many free ones online. And finally, you can try out different hobbies. Many people think that they're not creative or that they don't have any hobbies, but chances are that you have more hobbies than you think. For example, if you like playing video games, that can be considered a hobby. Or if you like watching movies, that can also be considered a hobby. Life hack number 8 is how to avoid getting scammed. Scams are everywhere these days, so it's important to be aware of them. One of the easiest ways to avoid getting scammed is to be skeptical of anything that seems too good to be true. For example, if someone's trying to sell you a car that seems way too cheap, it's likely that it's a scam. Another thing you can do is do some research on the person or business before doing anything. If you're buying something from a website, you can use a search engine to see if anyone else has had problems with the website. And finally, you can use common sense. If something seems like a scam, then it probably is. Life hack no. 9 is how to stay focused. Staying focused can be tough, especially if you're easily distracted. But there are some things you can do to help you stay on task. One of the best things you can do is take breaks. Taking breaks can help clear your head and make it easier to focus when you come back to the task at hand. Another thing you can do is work in a quiet place. If you're working in a loud environment, it'll be hard to stay focused because you'll be distracted by the noise. And lastly, you can use productivity tools such as a planner or a to-do list app. Using these tools can help you stay organized and on track. Life hack number 10 is how to memorize things faster. Memorizing things can be difficult, but there are some tips that can help you memorize things quicker. One of the best things you can do is repeat the thing you want to memorize over and over again. By repeating things, it'll help it go from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. Another thing you can do is associate the thing you want to memorize with something else. For example, if you want to memorize the capital of France, you can associate it with the Eiffel Tower. And finally, you can use mnemonics. Mnemonics are basically just a way of remembering things using a memorable phrase. For example, the capital of France is Paris, so you can use the mnemonic device Paris in the city of love to help you remember that the capital of France is Paris. Life hack number 11 is how to protect yourself from identity theft. Identity theft is another major problem these days, so it's important to take steps to protect yourself. One of the best things you can do is shred any documents that have personal information on them. By shredding these documents, you're making it much harder for someone to steal your identity. Another thing you can do is monitor your credit report. By monitoring your credit report, you'll be able to catch any suspicious activity early on. And finally, you can freeze your credit. Freezing your credit will make it much harder for someone to open accounts in your name. And finally, life hack number 12 is how to read faster. Reading faster can be beneficial in many situations, such as when you're reading a book or when you're reading an article online. One of the best ways to read faster is to use a guide when you're reading. By using a guide, you'll be able to focus on one word at a time. And by focusing on one word at a time, you'll be able to read faster. Another thing you can do is practice reading with the guide at least one word in from the first word of each line and one word in from the last word of each line. By practicing this, you'll be able to train your eyes to read faster. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got some value out of it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe.
Also,
If you have any questions, feel free to comment them down below.
thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.